in today's conversation, we'll be talking about one thing that I can do differently this week is, you know what I mean? And only you know that, you dig? But I really want to take into consideration because many of us focus on change. However, we feel that it's overwhelming because we try to fix everything all at once, right? So sustainable growth usually begins with something much smaller. Like I said, we got to be able to realize that most of our problems we have the answers to, right? We know what's up, we know what we could do, but at the same time too, we make it overwhelming, you know what I mean? And then we don't do it, you dig? So I want us to understand we could do things, but make it more manageable for yourself, make it more easy for yourself, and then you can start working towards that growth, working towards that goal, and things are going to start coming your way. And you know what I mean? Like, but we got to also too take in consideration that we got to put the work in. How we going to get what we want, but we ain't put the work in, you know what I mean? So we got to salute to the people that are doing what we want, what we want to accomplish, right? We got to understand that they put the work in, right? They had to develop the personality, the connections, right? The interpersonal skills, right? But at the same time too, these are all skills. These are all something that we can get to, but we got to put the work in. But let's develop some understanding. So you know what I mean? Like, you ain't the only one. You feel me? So it's easy to recognize what isn't working that when we want to change, right? Because we're always we beat ourselves up, right? Sometimes that's just what we do, right? But like I said, when it comes to people creating their goals, unrealistic goals that they set for themselves because they have also too high expectations, right? So it becomes discouraging for you to be able to maintain these goals or short for yourself when things are just like, it's just too extraordinary, right? So like I said, make things manageable for yourself and break them down in small, tangible goals so that, you know, feel me, you're able to repeat them and you're able to develop this consistency, and before you know it, you already got it, you dig? So repeating patterns feel frustrating, but like I said, when it's genuinely something that you're trying to change in regards to being different, or you have this intentionality behind it, you feel me, you're going to improve, you're going to change, you feel me? But you have to be able to show up for yourself, right? So it's not about just talking about the game, talking about the plan, talking about the goal, right? It's about actively showing up for yourself, right? So have accountability, really show up for yourself, write these things down, and then really, you know, take action and make it happen, right? But in regards to psychoeducation, why it's smaller, just really do matter, right? So I want to understand, like I said, we make it more manageable for ourselves. Like I said, our behavior, it helps it out, right? So behavior change often is sustainable when goals are specific, realistic, and also at the same time repeatable, right? So, you know what I mean? It's easy, you feel me? Small changes can create the opportunity to build that confidence through the experience. Consistency matters, like I said, when it comes to making one dramatic change that we're trying to, you know, overcome by making it more manageable for ourselves, right? So, like I said, stop setting the expectation too high, make it manageable for yourself, and like I said, you're gonna have some more of a concrete focus, and before you know it, you're doing it. You feel me? And if you practice it today, you practice it tomorrow. You feel me? You got the rhythm, bam, you got it. You know what I mean? So look at the small things that you're doing every single day. Look at the time that you're waking up. Look at the discipline. Right? Some people are waking up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., depending on your schedule. Some of us got school, but the time and the things that we do today make the difference. And like I said, that's